Hi, this is Brett and Norma live, mic'd up. We're here to watch a movie today. Come this way. This is Marcus Gurnee Theater in Gurnee, Illinois. It's a northern suburb of Chicago. A place we come to quite a bit. Watch a lot of theater showings here. This is what we go to a place called the Sports Bar Wall. We'll show you that too. That's where you can watch sporting events on a big screen. Let me give Norma the door. Back to Brett and Norma live at Marcus Gurnee Theater in Gurnee, Illinois. This is totally brand new, something we're just trying now, just for fun. So we're going to go see Michael. Obviously, this one will be one we'll go see soon enough. Basically, why did we want to see this movie? Well, I did love Michael Jackson growing up, like most people. I know he's got a little controversy in his past, but I think we all say that he's earned the king of pop. And how about Norma? Why did you want to watch this movie?
Hi, I'm Norma G. I'm usually behind the scenes, but I guess I wanted to watch it because of the fact that I didn't grow up kind of listening or watching Michael, and just because my parents were kind of against us listening to rock music, so I just kind of wanted to see. And obviously his nephew is in it. I wanted to see his nephew Jafar, and I know that a lot of people have said they loved it. My nephews went to see it and told me that it's a great crowd pleaser, and it's just for nostalgia, just because obviously Michael Jackson's no longer with us, and just kind of to see what his life was about.
And I find that very interesting because you didn't grow up with all the hype, and you said for some reason you're glad you missed that. So what did you mean by that?
So I guess I'm glad I missed it because, it was something that where my parents raised me. They raised me to not, dance and drink or do drugs or even listen to rock music or go to dances. So it was just something that my parents, obviously instilled in me and my brother, and then when I got older, probably in my 20s, I started listening to his music.
So now we're going to go over a few of our favorite songs before we go into the movie. As many of you know, it's gotten great reviews, partially because Jafar Jackson became Michael Jackson and redid a lot of the same moves and stuff. Everybody knows about Beat It. Everybody knows about, Thriller and those kinds of things. But the songs that I wanted to point out, some interesting facts. Say, Say, Say with Paul McCartney. And that was a fun video where they were pretending to be, snake oil salesmen or carny performers, doing tricks and stealing people's wallets, things like that. It actually had them in the settings probably in 1920s, 30s, I'm not sure exactly, but very old-timey. And his wife, Linda McCartney, before she died of cancer, was in that. And another interesting thing about that, quickly, is during that time, Michael talked to Paul about how Paul wanted to buy the Beatles collection. Before Paul could make a bid, Michael swooped in and bought all of their rights. That was just one interesting thing. Very good song, though. And Man in the Mirror was my second choice because everybody knows that part of this channel is about, growing as a person and being sincere and doing what you can to make yourself a better person. And I think that has something to do with it. 1979's Rock With You, one of his first solo ones, just got a great groove. Every time I always sing and feel good. And I'll Be There by the Jackson 5. When he was a little kid, And The Way You Make Me Feel, another good video from the 80s. Now it's I did. Okay, Norma's turn.
All right, so some of my favorite songs, again, my parents really were very strict when I was growing up, and we weren't allowed to listen to all this different type of music. But my first favorite one is because I'm a teacher, and I'm actually retiring in June, was
Woohoo,
ABC
35 years.
1, 2, 3 by the Jackson 5, and I just feel like, obviously everyone knows the alphabet, it's kind of catchy, it's just like a fun song.
ABC 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me, girl.
And Fred's singing the song, but I liked it because, it's when he was young, when he was a child in the 1970s, and kids just love to sing it at my school. So the second one is just Beat It, and I like that song because it has a unique song. I think he blended like rock, R&B, and pop all at the same time, different styles, and I feel like it had a strong just theme of just anti-violence, which I love, and just making sure that people are encouraged to avoid violence and to walk away from any fights, because I have students that get in fights and I try to teach them the best thing is to walk away. So that's why I like Beat It, and I love the choreography, the dancing. And the last one is Thriller, obviously, and I just love Thriller because the dancing, the choreography, the makeup, and it's amazing to me how they can tell that story.
You like zombie movies.
I like zombie movies, and it's amazing how they can tell that story. And I just like that, back then, MTV didn't have a lot of people that were featured as black artists. So
Michael Jackson. Okay, folks, this is the continuation after Norma just spoke about her favorite songs. We did have to talk about, before the movie, just a little bit about the controversies. Everybody knows what has been alleged, and there's more evidence that he didn't, as far as I'm concerned, than he did anything wrong. He definitely missed his childhood and didn't get a chance to play with friends and do the things that we took for granted. So it did make a little bit of a sense why, he wanted to build Neverland and all that other stuff. This movie doesn't cover all that part. It just talks about his up and coming long before those allegations even took place. And honestly, as we all know, a lot of movie biopics, they don't really, get into the darker stuff as often. Maybe even when they do, they soften it up because you want it to be a PG-13 movie. So that taken into consideration, what did we expect going in? Obviously, we thought it was either going to be fair, good, or great. And I thought it'd at least be good. And I'm assuming that you did as well, Norma. She's nodding yes. And honestly, I think we both thought it was pretty great, like a lot of people have been saying. And for this channel, or at least for this video, in the future, if we review other movies, because we have mic'd up, we're going to use 1, 2, 3, or 4 microphones. For this one, it wasn't perfect, but I'm going to give it 3.5 microphones. And she's given only 3. So I'd say go out and see it. And some of my favorite parts and scenes, spoiler alert, it's been out for several weeks now. I was just talking to her about the scene and after he got burned and top of his head, he was in the burn unit, and instead of just sitting in bed moping, he got up and went to a kid's room, where the burn unit, where a lot of kids were burnt far worse than him, and he sat with them to talk with them and make them feel better. And I just thought that was amazing. And then they mentioned that when he got his check for the settlement for getting burned, he just said, make sure you send it to the burn unit here at the hospital. And that was just very touching. So that was one of them. There were plenty, like firing Joseph with a fax and how nobody really wanted to deal with him. There was just so many things. I encourage you all to go see it. Some of the family didn't even want to appear, like Janet Jackson, for instance. And as far as criticisms and scenes I didn't like or could have been skipped, well, that's the main thing is just, again, they kind of glossed over any of the, harsher things. And the final recommendations, let's go out and see it. It's worth watching. And thank you for coming. And God bless as always. See you next time. Like and subscribe.